had Red 1, but what about Red 2?
I hate you so much. God damn it.
Welcome back, guys.
God damn it. I hate it so much. Welcome to the
perfect.
Hit Play Podcast. We are the Hit Players. We are back. We are back in action, baby. Making witty jokes that leave two of us speechless.
Yeah. 10 out of 10 comedy chops here.
Thank you.
Can't say the same about the movie. Hey, yo. We just finished up Red 1. Just recently returned to the theater. And boy, do we have things to say.
Yeah.
This was a movie that was viewed at the request of you, Claire,
Mhm.
for, I think, since
Months.
like August. What did we go see? What was it that we went to go see when we saw the trailer for
It might have been Romulus.
Maybe. No, we've seen it. Maybe. Because I think that came out around that time.
I have no
I
memory.
can't remember what else was in theaters around that time that we would have gone to see.
Yeah.
So I think
That
we
might have been
in.
it.
I might have been in for that.
Something before Romulus. I don't know.
Yeah.
Chat, if you guys know what movie it was that this
Because I'm pretty
trailer
sure
first premiered,
that episode I started talking about it.
it might have been that.
Oh
But
my god.
yeah, we went to go watch The Rock's newest flop of the year,
Flop.
Red 1.
Yeah. James,
it's
I
a
would
movie.
I would like you to start us off with your opinions on this.
You want me to start off?
Yeah, because you are always quiet. Isaac very obviously considers this a flaming crock of shit. I very obviously am loving
has
every minute of
moments.
this. So I would like to hear your opinion on it.
Well, I had no expectations going into this.
Correct.
I had seen the trailer and I thought that was just another campy Christmas film.
Yeah.
There's always one every year,
Mhm.
usually two or a couple.
Right.
I didn't think we were going to watch it. I figured the campiness was enough to steer us away from that. I was wrong. I thought that you were excited to see it too,
No.
Isaac.
No, not at all.
I thought it was you two against me.
No, I was very...
This was a pure force of will from yours truly.
All right.
I reluctantly agreed only because I thought, if nothing more, it'll let us talk about something. Because we always run into the thing where it's like, hey guys, it's Wednesday, the pod comes out Monday, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, well, we don't have anything to talk about like dire. Let's just do something.
That was kind
At
of
least engage us.
yeah.
That's really what this is, purely for the bit. I had zero desire to see this movie. I think when I walked out, when we saw the trailer for the first time, I said, are you effing kidding me?
I want to say we walked out on the drive home from whatever we were watching. We were talking about. I was like, "So that Red 1 movie," and you were like, "No."
But
like a
unfortunately, begrudgingly, I agreed. So, yeah, we saw it.
Yeah. So as you
Were,
were,
what the lack of expectations that you had, were they met? Or, or were you like certain characters in this movie that they had no expectations and yet still didn't reach them?
So this movie doesn't really do anything new.
Yeah.
right.
And if you've seen enough of these, I mean, on the drive home from the theater, we talked about plenty of these kind of one-off holiday films.
Yeah.
Some of them get sequels, like you were talking about the Tim Allen,
The Santa Clauses.
Santa Claus
Yeah.
movies. So
3 movies in a series.
these things just have their purpose,
Yeah.
right? Their time and place. There are parts of the story that I thought were really cool, like the use of mythological creatures. I
Yeah.
didn't expect that to be. I thought this was just going to be like Santa Claus.
Yeah,
doing
I know
stuff.
that caught me
Me
off guard
too.
But
too.
the
yeah.
fact that it's like, no, there's like mythology behind this. I'm like, okay, that's the sequel bait.
You
right
see
there.
people that are like not even from Christmas.
Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
So they'll have other holidays they'll be able
Yeah.
to do that
They
with.
could definitely loop it in with some stuff. Yeah.
Which actor they're going to
An
bring back? I don't know.
an extended universe.
Yeah.
I was waiting when we were sitting there. Like you got up and immediately started walking. I was like, I kind of want to wait to see if they
I'm
have,
gonna
like,
Google
a,
it. We
like
can
an
Google it.
Avengers,
I
like,
had
end
no
credit scene?
I had no desire to stay for the end credits. I usually will stay like a couple minutes, you know,
Just to make sure,
just to
but-
like see or like just out of respect to the people who made the movie.
Mhm.
This one, I was immediately out of my seat as soon as the lights turned on.
No.
You
I
were.
was gone.
I mean, it did its job.
Which was
Exist. I mean,
Some would argue, James, that a job of a film is to entertain, but
there were plenty of funny jokes.
it's like the English teacher. Like, is this informing? Is this entertaining you, or is this persuading you? And James is like, I give you the fourth option. Exists.
yeah.
Nevertheless,
Uh,
there's enough Christmas puns in here that you can tell they had fun writing it.
sure.
Whether they had fun making it, I think, is a different question. There are plenty of directing choices and also staging and composition that shows that there were probably different people filming the same scene at different times.
Yeah.
That could have come down to, of course, schedule conflicts. You have somebody like The Rock and Chris Evans, insanely popular.
Yeah.
It's okay if there's not a lot of two shots of them throughout the course of the film.
I knew we were in for a ride of a movie when the first credit we see is MGM. And the second one is immediately The Rock's production company, and then there's 3 more production companies that get credited. And I was like, "Oh God."
Yep.
Yeah.
There were plenty of individual lines where I was like, he wrote that himself.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. 100%.
I had the freaking WWE documentary in the back of my head
yeah.
where he's just like, I made this. This
Yeah.
is my storyline. And there were a few lines where I was like, he had to get convinced to be a part of this. When he goes up against Krampus and he's so much shorter.
Yeah.
And I was like, he definitely tried to like persuade them Fast and Furious style. Like, guys, we have to be the same height.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, nobody watching this film is going to have a different expectation about what they're getting into. And you're going to get exactly what you're looking for. If you like those kinds of movies, then you've already seen it. If you don't, then you're like Isaac and myself and you've tried to avoid it.
You got dragged along.
We just happen to have a
It's a one
obligation
for
to
you,
it.
one for me kind of situation.
Yeah.
It's you guys have made me watch a ton of stuff, so naturally I have to force you to watch something.
There's been a lot of those recently. We need to renegotiate our terms
Yeah.
and
What do you mean there's been a
terms
lot
and
of
agreements.
I want you to go back through our episode list and count how many there are of dead name play or watches X. All right.
There's like 4.
There's like 7.
We should retitle those.
It's
Anyway,
whatever.
Yeah.
that's my review in a nutshell.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
There was a certain point while watching this film that I thought in the back of my head, if this was a comic book, I would have loved this.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It
Actually,
has. I feel like that sense of humor and like campiness would have translated, or at least the irony of it would have translated much, much better if you can read these jokes at your own pace in a book. And the visuals, it obviously dealing with a lot of mythical creatures, it lends itself to a very comic book art style. I think that would have been like to the point where I was like, I wanted to look up, like, was this actually a book that this is
Supposed to be.
inspired
Yeah.
by? But nevertheless, you know, as a movie, less entertained.
Yeah, fair.
All right. The witness, the
The witness.
the prosecution calls Claire Murphy to the stand to defend.
So obviously, I loved every fucking minute of this film.
Yeah, I heard you
Oh.
giggling from 7 row.
By the way, oh wait, that's the other thing.
Yeah, this is how I know we were in for a rough time. Is we walked into the theater, we were the only 3 people in the whole goddamn theater. We were in the smallest theater,
It was
in that
like
whole
maybe 30
building.
seats.
and we were the only 3. So much so that we sat a seat apart from each other.
To be
Just
fair,
have
it was
more space.
also a matinee showing.
Yeah, it is also. It was 2 in the
Yeah, that's
afternoon
fair.
on a work day, but still, there wasn't even like a stay-at-home mom with her kid. Like usually, you get at least one of those.
Yeah,
So obviously, I had bottom of the barrel expectations. I knew this was going to be a crock of shit. I knew it was going to be bad, but I was in for that. That's what I wanted. I was like, I
Yeah.
could really go for
it's
something.
a holiday
just like,
season. You know, you got to have a
know.
good movie to.
Yeah, I was
Gross.
like, I every time we saw the trailers, I was like, I absolutely adore the fact that this is going to be schlocky and garbagey as all hell, right?
Yeah.
And it actually genuinely surprised me with how much effort they put into not having effort. Like,
What a glowing endorsement.
like there was. I mean, like you get a film like this, right?
Mhm.
You could easily have it take itself way too seriously, and then even like for those of us that like the crappy campy movies, you're like, okay, this is too much. Now it's just bad, right? This I feel like was definitely leaning more towards so bad it's enjoyable. I'm not gonna say good, but like just because like there were several moments where I'm just like, yeah, they're having fun. Like they know what they're doing. They don't care. They're having a good time. Like,
I did not get that vibe.
If there's anything I've ever heard about productions with The Rock, it's that you don't have a fun time.
well, I mean, fair, but like, unlike some of his other works, I was just like, there's a lot of times where I was like, yeah, this is This is just dumb, and it accepts that it's dumb, and it's happy to be dumb, and that's what I wanted. And then also they had really cool creature designs, which caught me off guard.
Yeah.
I will praise it for that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
A lot of cool creatures,
Mhm.
a lot of cool like things that I thought would have been CGI, like Krampus in particular,
Yeah.
was not Davy Jones levels of.
There
you know,
was a shocking amount of practicality.
yeah. I mean, obviously the polar bear
It was super CGI.
was
yeah.
CGI.
Wait a minute. They didn't get an actual polar
The
bear?
reindeer, yeah, famous for his roles in the Golden Compass.
Yeah. If I had to give this movie one like, okay, here's like the positive, it's the creature designs and just the world itself.
Yeah, I do like a good modern North Pole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like whether it's the Santa Clauses,
Mhm.
whether it's like the Polar Express, even though I guess that's 2000s. I do enjoy that like modern retelling of what the North Pole would be
It was cool.
in
I mean,
today's day and age.
Yeah.
be honest. When they had Santa Claus walking through a military industrial complex, you weren't like, this is pretty
No,
sick.
I
yeah, like
my only complaint with the movie, and surprisingly, is if you cast anybody but The Rock, this is a really, really good Christmas movie. But the fact that The Rock is so devoid of charisma and like just comedic timing, which is weird because if you watch him in any other role pre 2008, he's actually like pretty decent. Or even just a comedy, like with Kevin Hart, he's actually kind of funny. The fact that he plays it so serious all the time drove me crazy because I was like, you can still be the straight serious cop and have fun with it.
Yeah.
A la like the one movie that was in my mind the whole time was Rush Hour. It's like Jackie Chan is a serious character, but he's still
he's still able
funny.
to crack jokes. Yeah.
And for me, it was like, I hate The Rock. The Rock kills this movie.
He kind of does.
I think if The Rock is not in this movie probably makes like 3 times more than it did, and its costs like half.
Yeah.
And it's overall probably at least 10 points higher on Metacritic.
Still sub 50, but better.
yeah. Which is like for a Christmas movie, that's all you really need. Like
Yeah.
we have nostalgia for all these old holiday movies, but they're all
Bad.
They're all really bad.
yeah.
Because you only have to watch them once a year.
Only, except for the Grinch. The Grinch is the goat.
And Scrooge,
and
the
Elf.
Bill Murray one.
And Elf.
Elf is great too.
Elf is also good. Yeah.
Personally, other than J.K. Simmons, you could replace any actor in this film. And I don't
Yeah.
think anything would change.
Yeah, but
in my
I mean,
opinion.
he's the one that is the lightning rod that I
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
want to kind of.
Yeah.
Chris Evans, I don't care for Chris Evans. I don't know why he keeps getting casted. I mean, I know why he keeps getting
Right,
casted
yeah,
and stuff, but it's like
I will say,
we could do better.
when it comes to Chris Evans, I actually prefer him in roles like this over like the super serious Captain America style role.
Yeah,
Because like when I first was introduced to him, it was as
Captain America.
no, it was a second Evil X in Scott Pilgrim.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
I
I
it's
can't
a
remember the
good one.
guy's name.
Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
But like he does that like
It's kind of funny.
yeah, he does that like that douchey like
Yeah.
kind of asshole
Perfect.
thing really well, and he was that in this movie, and I was like, oh, thank you. Like
know
you
who-
do that.
You
the
know what
best.
movie you would love? Knives Out.
I need to
You would
watch
love
that, yeah.
Knives Out.
You know what? You know who you could replace him with is Glenn Powell. And I think it would
Yeah?
have been the same character.
Yeah,
To a degree, yeah.
Who would you ever replace The Rock with, though?
Literally anybody else.
Kevin Hart.
Literally, okay. That they're basically the same person.
They are, yeah, but that's what makes it funny.
I would not have Kevin. Okay,
Bautista.
everybody other than Kevin Hart.
Dave Bautista.
Yeah. Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Cody Rhodes.
Christ.
Just naming wrestlers.
John Cena.
John Cena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, yeah, that'd be a good one-to-one.
Oh
Man.
yeah. Other than The Rock, for me, this movie was pretty solidly okay. That and like the only other gripe I majorly had with it was there's this magical world and somehow every conflict is getting resolved with just fist fights,
Yeah.
and I'm like, we can't shoot some fireballs or something like what's
Right?
I've seen that done before very, very well, where it's like, oh, we're magical people, but we just fight each other. Like, we
Yeah.
just beat each other up. But like when it's like acknowledged and played straight, I think that's fine. When they're like on the beach fighting the snowmen
Yeah.
and they're just like punching these blocks of ice,
Yeah.
I'm like, you don't have like a magic like
You have
thing
a
you could
right,
pull
yeah.
out.
You don't have a lighter in your back pocket.
Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that he has all these gadgets, the Rocket has all these gadgets to do all these crazy things, and then he doesn't have like a magical knife that pops out of
Yeah.
his freaking.
He had a Monopoly set.
It never got
I know,
used.
right?
No, that was just for him. He just wanted to
The
play.
the number of Chekhov's misplaced guns in this movie were
Red herrings.
incredible.
Yeah.
I was just like, there were so many times where he's just like grabbing shit, and I'm like, that's never gonna be seen again.
Yeah.
I
The
want-
chicken that gets used to distract the bloodhounds for like 2 seconds and then is never.
Yeah,
like,
that's where he should have used
again.
Monopoly.
Yeah,
He should have been
he
like,
should
let's
have
play a
been
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's throw a car.
That's what I thought when he picked
I thought
up
he was going to use a
Monopoly.
boot.
or the
Yeah,
dog. The
yeah.
dog would have been funny.
He like uses the steel boot or something like that.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, I mean, also you could have
Thumbtack.
really like, you could have gone crazy with Monopoly where he like points at a specific spot and all of a sudden Park places there. And it's like, how they
He could have
fight
used the
somebody.
Monopoly
use
money
it-
to like pay off someone.
Yeah,
They use
pay
it
off
to
the guys.
transport to Broadway Street or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I mean, there could have
Yeah.
been so many funny things you could have done.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
get why they didn't do it, but like,
Like I said, you could tell they had fun writing it.
Yeah.
And there were definitely things
Yeah.
where I was like, that's clever
Mhm.
and like a very like, you know, you're limiting yourself to we have to use Christmas to tell these jokes. And they find plenty of very fun ways to do that, like when they use the toy shops to connect to
Yeah.
like just get between scenes.
My favorite was the mistletoe hydroponics.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
hydroponics. Yeah, God, dude, I was losing it. I'm so
like,
glad
that's
really
pretty. That's pretty clever.
I think that's really just the best part of this film is that they've somehow unironically set up a really interesting world that I would love to see like somebody who's competent take the reins of
Yeah. Yeah.
and like do something
Well,
with.
yeah.
I feel like no. The thing that we have, I think, is as good as it's ever going to be with those ideas. That might sound.
Oh, I
weird.
disagree completely.
Well, like I said, if it was a different medium, if it was a comic book, right?
Oh yeah.
I think nothing changed. It would have been just fine for me. Like I still would have laughed at it. The parts that I were found funny,
Yeah.
at least, right? Characters would have come across just the same. You just wouldn't have the emotional attachment to the actors that you do have.
It would have been however they wanted to draw them.
Just,
Tell me if anybody else is not in that role, this movie isn't better.
I didn't hate him.
I mean, yeah,
I
I thought he
hated
did
him.
a fine job.
But
I hate him.
also, I haven't seen. I purposely avoid things with The Rock in
I was
it.
gonna say.
I don't have like a visceral hatred for The Rock, so
Yeah.
I think you're just slightly.
I don't go out of
biased.
my way to watch movies.
I
with him in
mean,
it.
you know, the movie going audience has a bias too. If
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
nobody's
that's
going
true,
to see
too.
this movie.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's also been out for like over a month.
Again, nobody has seen this movie.
Yeah.
Regardless, I still feel like what we have. There were very few things where I felt like like they other than the Monopoly thing, for example, where it's like that's clearly a red herring, or like they either cut that scene where they do use it, or they just forgot that they had it
Yeah.
entirely and nobody mentioned it or brought it up.
Yeah.
There's like this film just it exists. It does everything a film is supposed to do.
Yeah.
It doesn't like offend, but it doesn't exceed as a Christmas film.
Yeah.
It doesn't even have really like a like message. Like
I mean, it kind of does. Be a better father. I'm gonna send that one to my dad.
My apologies if I can't relate to that. but yeah, nevertheless.
I mean, that's about the only thing the guy has.
Yeah,
is just
you know.
be a better parent.
The scene I did like the scene where The Rock looks over and it's the two kids sitting down on the
Yeah,
slab,
And then he
cute.
sees.
and I was like, okay, that's kind of clever. You made some good decisions here.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like, there's unironically some of the bones of this movie are like kind of good. It's just that like it's covered in a bunch of crap, and I'm like, there's no cleaning the crap off.
I
at
don't
this
think it's
point.
crap. I think it's just milk toast.
Just mid.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Definition of mid.
yeah. That's all.
Yeah. That's a fair way to
Literally,
put it.
I feel like that's all.
Yeah.
Other than the only other actor I think that I would want to comment on is Kiernan Shipka as the witch.
Yeah.
I thought she had an accent.
she did. She did. The first thing
start, yeah.
the
The
first
first
thing that comes
scene.
out of her mouth is, "Go ahead and get it, lads."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then she
definitely
just-
was like,
she never
stops.
has an
Like,
accent.
They
German
definitely
up
pulled her
there.
aside and were like, "Don't you ever do that shit again."
Shapeshift back into an American.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh.
She definitely had an accent.
She definitely the first scene she 100% had an accent.
Mhm. And then Chris Evans' Boston accent like comes in and out.
Yeah. Okay. His character is just there was nothing there for me
No.
personally.
Okay.
It didn't feel like there was even any I didn't even like think of the connection that the kid in the first scene was going to be him. It felt so.
Oh, really? I read that.
I mean, that was immediate.
No,
Yeah,
I
I read
understood
that
it
a mile away.
immediately, but I was like, where are they like trying to take this? And then at the end when he shows up and he's the kid again, and I was like, okay, I kind of get it now. But the whole, I just
See, here's what gets me about his character. And this happens in, dare I say, every Christmas movie. Santa Claus is a real thing, which means that presents do just appear under trees for everybody ever.
Yeah.
How do you have disbelievers when it's actually a phenomenon that you can record? Like,
There's a lot of little moments like that in the movie.
it just like because like the parent was like, well, I mean, I don't know how it works. I'm like, you're telling me that you are just accepting for the how many years you've had children. Wow, the presents are just showing up. That's crazy. Whatever. What?
yeah.
No, you'd be like, listen,
I mean, the Polar Express has that same issue
yeah,
where it's the kid is like, till he meets him, and then like it's like, brother, you were like, how?
Yeah.
How was this a thing?
they're like, seeing is believing. I'm like, I'd be seeing some shit that I've never seen before. It'd be well accepted at this point in reality that things just appear.
Yeah, it's like atoms. You don't know that they exist, but like
You could
the
Well,
theory of them existing is proven.
But every adult was a kid at one point too, so they saw their presents magically appear,
Mm-hmm.
and so they know, okay, there's a Santa Claus. They grow up and have kids. They're like, yeah, that's just Santa's presents.
That's what I'm
Well,
saying.
that's
Like,
what we're saying though. Is
Yeah.
how is there not like a wide world belief of like
you wouldn't-
Santa's real because presents keep showing?
Yeah,
up?
you wouldn't have
Is there a
naysayers.
ring cam in this universe?
Yeah, like it's not like oh God's real because of like small
Yeah, I
little
wasn't
things
there
that
when-
happen.
I
It's
wasn't
like
there when it was
this
written.
is a
Yeah.
consistent once a year. Every house on the planet
It's like
gets a
earthquake.
delivery.
It's like earthquakes.
yeah, like we
You
know
don't
it
see
exists.
it happening, but we know it exists.
I do appreciate the fact that this movie completely avoids any of the moral responsibilities that Santa Claus
Yeah,
has as being like just the guy who can watch everybody sleep.
The
Yeah.
judge, jury, and executioner.
Yeah,
of-
the
judge,
judge,
jury,
jury,
and
and executioner of
executioner, yeah.
Christmas. Yeah.
I do like that they were like, well, Santa didn't like punishing kids, and I was like, that's not the Santa Claus I grew up with. What the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy was gonna come out with deny, defend,
yeah.
suppose.
Also, if you didn't like punishing kids, why you still got the naughty list?
That too.
Yeah.
That's like the one plot hole where I was like,
he took it away,
he
and
took
I'm
the
like,
list, but he still uses
he
it.
still keeps track of it.
It's like,
In fact, he checks it twice.
I mean, it's like Batman in the Dark Knight with the NSA goggles.
Yeah, yeah. It's like it's justified. Don't worry,
yeah,
we're
yeah,
doing good. I was like,
We're just looking for
whatever.
terrorists. Don't worry.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything to hide, you shouldn't be scared.
The only part of this film that I felt like was out of place was the actual sequence of us watching him work when he's jumping into every
Yeah, that felt
balcony.
a little bit.
I was like, you guys could just end the movie here.
Yeah,
It'd be fine.
You could have cut it off with him being like, "You
I mean,
want
they
to
could
go?"
have ended with just them taking off.
Yeah.
the take off.
I thought
yeah.
they were going to.
Yeah.
And then we got an extended like break-in.
Yeah, when we were looking at the runtimes for this movie, I audibly went, this movie is 2 hours.
Yeah.
How?
It could have been.
It could have easily been an hour 40.
Yeah. There's
Like
a lot of crap you didn't
the
need.
whole opening heist, I guess it sets up that he did the job, but like there's a lot of those scenes where it's like we could have cut at least I
Yeah.
don't know 5
Just
minutes.
make him an employee at the place.
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
problem solved. Whatever. Yeah, the show
or
that
the
he's a
scene where they
slick guy.
get caught by Krampus's people, then they get put in the cellar, then they get taken
Yeah.
to Krampus.
Yeah.
Like just take them to Krampus.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need the scene of them. They just
No.
had a heartwarming talk in the truck.
Yeah, there was plenty of fat to be trimmed from this feature. But
The amusement
by
park,
golly, I loved it.
the amusement ride movie.
Yeah.
I don't even feel like I can rank it.
I don't think it deserves a ranking. I'm gonna be real.
Would you guys, when you guys have kids, are you showing this movie to
I
them?
think I'm gonna have kids.
It's a theoretical question. Just answer for the sake of the podcast.
100%. Yeah. I'm gonna watch this movie again. I'm gonna show it to all my
This
friends.
year?
Yeah. As soon as it's out on streaming, I'm gonna get all my online friends. Be like, guys, I got the best movie you ever laid eyes on.
In the span of a year, we went from recommending Godzilla 01
Yeah.
to
Red one.
Red 1.
Oh my! Well, yeah, we went from
Well, you
Godzilla
specifically.
Minus
to
one to
Red
or
Red
minus
one.
0, sorry.
Yeah.
What did I say?
Minus
Minus 1?
0-1.
I say 01?
You said 0-1. Yeah.
Sorry.
-1. That's
Minus
okay.
1. What are you guys' favorite Christmas movies? Give a quick shout out.
Red 1.
Okay.
No, I'm trying to think. I mean, as much as it's uncanny valley and disturbing as all hell, I do still really appreciate the Polar Express.
I love the Polar Express.
That's
Polar
my
Express
answer.
is great. Yeah.
Polar Express is my favorite.
Make sure to hit the bell if you want to hear us talk about Polar
Yeah.
Express.
Maybe we will. Maybe we won't. Who knows?
Sometime this month. Yeah, I think that's 1-1.
Yeah.
Unless you're doing like the old school claymation stuff.
Let's say like the Grinch.
The Grinch
Jim
and
Carrey's
okay,
Grinch,
I take it
yeah.
back. The Grinch is my 1-1.
Yeah,
Okay.
like, that's a really good one.
I think Elf and
Elf is fantastic.
Polar Express would probably be that same tier.
I put Home Alone number 2, I think.
Where he goes to New York and meets Trump.
No, the first one.
That's the second one.
No,
You said
Home Alone
Oh, as
would
well.
be number 2.
Okay. Sorry, you said Home Alone 2, and I'm like, why
Home
the second
Alone.
one?
The second one where he goes,
Yeah.
his friend pulls up and is like, "Hey, I'm Home Alone too."
The first Home Alone movie.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, the one where he's actually home alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
not
Lost
in
New
another
York.
city. You guys ever see Home Alone 3? It's
Uh,
basically the first one.
3 Home 2.
I think it's Joe Pesci again in that one.
He can't keep getting left home alone.
It's actually not it's not McCulkey.
I
It's
know. That much I do know.
it's another kid.
No, cringe.
Any other good ones? Charlie Brown Christmas?
Charlie Brown Christmas.
Charlie Brown
is good,
Christmas
yeah.
is
It's a
definitely
classic.
good.
That's a travesty that it's no longer on ABC.
Yeah. Star Wars Christmas special.
All
I
right.
feel like that goes.
Episode 7, Rise of Rise of Skywalker.
Do you guys have
Completely
anything else?
Butchered that, completely butchered that trilogy.
I'm trying to think. Is there anything else? No.
Anything else you want to say?
No, not
No.
I mean, CGI does its job. It's serviceable.
Yeah.
There's only like maybe 2 shots, I feel like, where you're just like,
That was. That was
and it's
atrocious,
all
yeah.
at the beginning
Mhm.
when
Yeah.
the sleigh is taking off for the first time. And the jets
the
are
fact that he
pretty-
gets escorted by F-35s, I'm like,
Yeah.
we need to triple the defense budget.
It's like, I'm not gonna lie.
Make it an offense budget.
As he was catching up to them, and he was like, "All right, thanks for the escort, guys." I was like, "Cinema."
You're telling me the military has had access to this mythical technology this entire time and never
haven't.
used it.
They haven't tried to exploit it for their
Yeah.
own personal use. This is
It-
unrealistic.
It
0 out of 10.
happens in so many of these movies where there are like glaring plot holes for this kind of thing because I'm like, we would not let this fly. The American people would not let this
The one
fly.
thing I do love about this movie that makes it so cartoony is, one character will be like, "What is? How did he do that?" And it's like, "Oh, it's the glass machine." And he's like, "What's the glass machine?" He's like, "Pfft, "Idiot, you don't know what the glass machine is." And then it's like some stupid device that's only named to be able to use the acronym, and it's like, or like, you know where he's at. Know where who is at. Don't play dumb. You know where he's at.
Yeah, when they're interrogating somebody in a way that no interrogator would ever do in their life.
I hate that shit.
Where's Santa waterboards?
That's what I mean.
Like, put them on there.
It's like The Last of Us. Just
Yeah.
you better keep talking, or I'm gonna pop your kneecap.
This movie is just 0 Dark 30. Trying to find Santa.
Yeah, I want to see the art. I want to see the unrated cut.
We sent an agent to give out vaccines
Yeah.
to locate Krampus.
Oh my god.
Kieran Shipka's like, I'm the motherfucker who found this place.
I wanted to put a bomb, sir.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, God.
I give it a C.
Yeah,
It's fair. Yeah,
I think if only because I really do enjoy really just awful films, I'd probably put it like a B.
Mm.
But that's bias.
I don't
That's
think it's
heavy
awful.
bias
I don't think it's awful. I think it's the definition of mid,
to me, which is awful. Yeah.
which I was just. I mean, we were talking to what was it last week, 2 weeks ago, where I was like, mid movies need to come back.
Mhm.
This would
I
fit
tried.
the bill.
Just didn't make enough money.
Unfortunately, the main guy is someone that I don't like, but that's neither here nor there.
We'll reshoot it ourselves.
Yeah, what's up with The Rock?
That's a question for
Why
you. I
is
have
he-
no opinion whatsoever.
I mean, he's not a boulder.
I don't get
Oh,
why
shut
he's,
up.
why he's going downhill.
I mean, it's just vanity, I think. Maybe.
Yeah, you can
Ego.
when you're. I mean, there are
When
plenty
you're
of people.
making them shoot scenes where you appear at the same height as
Yeah.
your co-star in
Yeah.
order to not appear shorter,
Mhm.
that's an ego problem.
Why do you think people still make movies with him?
Because
He has a lot of money.
Still
He has a
draws
lot
people
of
and he can put money
Draw.
behind them. I mean, the director of this film did the Jumanji movies as well with him.
That
so
movie made a shitload of money.
clearly they work well together. Well, it's Jumanji. It's a
Yeah, but it
classic.
also almost made $1 billion.
that's true. International box office. Christmas just isn't that popular around the world.
I think that's also what it is.
That
too,
might
is
have been it. Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie that, like, the trailers and stuff for did not capitalize on the parts of it that actually were kind of cool.
The Worldwide.
Yeah.
It should have had Pitbull in it.
Yeah.
Mr. Worldwide himself.
Well,
yeah.
I feel like you guys are losing your minds.
Oh,
over
I
this.
mean, like I said,
Oh,
I
my
loved-
mind's been gone.
I loved every minute of this.
Yeah, my mind's been gone.
Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching. Final Alien episode gonna be out soon. TM.
Yeah.
Hell
if
yeah.
not
Sorry for making you wait, but
Yeah.
we had to make sure that we were all available to do
a
one last
super,
hurrah,
a super
and,
long run. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys next week
Hit
for
the
whatever
bell.
we're covering. We already know, but I'm gonna leave it a mystery.
We're doing a certain movie that may or may not be a Christmas movie, depending on your interpretation of the Christmas movie, which we'll leave up to debate.
Yeah, leave a comment down below. What makes a Christmas movie?
Oh.
Yeah. What do you think makes Christmas?
Does it just have to have snow?
Does it have to?
That's James' definition.
Does it have to mention Christmas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Does somebody have to mention Christmas, the holiday by name?
Yeah. Or does it only just have to come out in December and have nothing to do with Christmas, a la The Force Awakens?
I'm just saying. Two of those. If there's three of them, it hits two of them that we've talked about.
Yeah. It's snow in December. I mean,
We're out of here.
bye guys.